Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. All right, that was good energy for a small crowd. Good stuff. I'd like to invite up our board member, Ron Van, to give us some announcements before we jump in.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. My name is Ron Van, and on behalf of the Bethel Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome you to our Shabbat service. If you're new or visiting, please introduce yourself to me or Rabbi Don after the service for a warm welcome. We're delighted to celebrate with you. Check your pamphlets and Tuesday e-bulletin for more Bethel community-wide events that are coming up in the next month. And I'd like you to take a moment now, really silence your cell phones, and we are thrilled to have you join us. Thank you, Shabbat Shalom, and I'll leave you with one last thing. Make sure you use your turn signals when you get out of the parking lot and on the road. Shabbat Shalom. That's my audience back there with me.
They know, they're ready for it. We open with a song. Please turn in your books to page 129, 129. We're going to be in this book, page 129. Dodi Li at the top. Dodi Li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim Dodi Li mizotola min hamidbar mizotola min hamidbar Dodi Li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim Dodi Li. And now we turn in our books to page 120, 120. I'd like to invite up the Grelic Spiritus clan to help us with the lighting of the candles and the blessing of the wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And now we turn to page 123, 123 for the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei puri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yava uvratzon inchilanu Zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha Be'ava uratzon yinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. And now we turn in our books to page 142, 142, for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn in our books to page 146, 146. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. You may be seated. We turn to page 148, 148, for Ma'ariv Aravim. Actually, 149. Please join me at the bottom of the page. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother and my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. And now we turn to page 151, 151. Please join with me at the top of the page. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And now we turn to page 152, 153. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Shema, or to remain seated, whatever is your custom. If you'd like to cover your eyes, feel free to do that. If you'd like to leave them uncovered, whatever works for you. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We turn in our books to page 157, 157. Please join with me at the bottom of the page. We read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. We turn to page 158, 158 for Micha Mocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malechutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze Eli anu ve'amru, Ze Eli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We turn to page 160, 160. We join together in asking God to help us to build a Sukkot Shlomecha, a shelter of peace, with this Hashkivenu, that whatever our trials and tribulations were the week before, let us enter into this Shabbat, and we ask God to help us to build some peace that we may enjoy. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. We turn in our books to page 162, 162. Excuse me. Where, let us read together in the English in the middle of the page, we will sing of our covenant with God. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day God ceased from work and was refreshed. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru V'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We turn to page 164, 164, for the tefillah portion of our service. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. We'll be on the even-numbered pages from 164 to 170. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot, Umevi geula livnei v'nehem, l'man shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Abraham ve'ezrat Sarah, atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia, morid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim v'rofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umito melach, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yihalilucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. We turn to page 175, 175. Please join with me at the bottom of the page. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. And now we turn to page 177, 177. Please join me at the top of the page. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ucha na'eh lehodot. And now, I'd like to bring a microphone down to all of you and ask that anyone that has a simcha or something you're celebrating or something that you're glad about going on in your lives that you'd like to share with the community, that you introduce yourself and share something with everyone, because it is always good to bring that joy to everyone, to have this note of individual things going on, good things going on in our community. Please introduce yourself.
It's my son's 47th birthday today. Thank you. I'm Sandy.
Anyone else have anything you'd like to share?
I'm Celia. I won't be here for this, but my baby sister is turning 60 in a few weeks.
Happy early birthday. Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah.
I'm Cindy Hendelman, and I just moved here 2 weeks ago, and my daughter, who lives here, is pregnant, and she is expecting their first child the end of next month.
Anyone else? Last call? Okay. It is great to hear such good things to get to know each other, and may these good things keep coming more and more in our lives. And we are aware that even with all these joys, we are still, as a world, praying for peace. So we turn to page 178, 178. Please join me in Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol et u'b'chol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. And now, following these prayers for peace, we turn to offering prayers for healing. The congregation is thinking for healing of those Carol Solomon, June Van, Rabbi Michael Matchison, Sherry Chait, Larry Michaelov, Fran Marcus, Paige Hedrick, Rob Moreland, Arthur Glico, Ken Friedman, Don Demelia, Randy Bakula, Ronald Lieberman, Stuart Rosenthal, David Adler, Melvin Cohen, Mary Ann Brown, Elise Rubin, Margaret Larson, Marvin Weisblatt, Bonnie Yales Gibson, Joanne Lifshitz, Myra Barsky, Kimberly Aslin, Jennifer Levine, Maytal Eber, Alan Kaufman, Mimi Kaufman, Zipporah Bat Keila Rivka, all American soldiers injured in war, all Israeli soldiers injured in war, and all civilians injured in any war. If there's anyone here that has a name of someone for whom you are praying for healing that you'd like to share with the community, I invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. We hold all their names together, and we turn to page 371, 371. Please rise in body or spirit for the Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May those who will not be healed on this earth be blessed with nights free from suffering and days filled with peace. May God grant strength and comfort to those who care for the sick. May God help us to find hope and courage as we face fear and loss. May all who are ill be surrounded by the love of friends, loving companions, family, and community. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. And now I invite you to take a few moments for a silent meditation for the prayers of your heart. And we'll come out of that silent prayer on page 180, 180, near the bottom. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Well, Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. I think I'm going to change sides here. Might be easier to flip the pages after. There is an old story about a rabbi whose students asked him, "How do we tell when night finally ends and morning begins?" The rabbi asks his students this question, and the students answer, "When you can look across a field and tell a sheep from a dog?" The rabbi says, "No, that's not it." Another tries to answer, "When you can tell a fig tree from an olive tree?" And the rabbi says, "No, that's also not correct." Finally, they ask the rabbi, "How can you tell?" And the rabbi says, "When you look at the face of someone coming closer to you, and you can tell that it's your sibling." Until then, until you can tell the difference, it's still night. That story resonates with me because it's not just about seeing, it's about how seeing that person, recognizing that person, lets us understand on a deeper level. That seeing clues into something more meaningful. And that is exactly what this week's Torah portion is about. Re'eh, we are told in the beginning, see. Not to believe, not to obey, not even to understand, but to see. See, I place before you today blessing and curse. When I was younger, I thought that this choice would be pretty easy, kind of laid out on a menu. You have your blessings, you have your curses, you can tell which ones are the better ones to choose because of what they're called in the column, you know? You want the blessings, not the curses. Except, it's never that simple. Life is never that simple. Good people suffer. Kind people get their hearts broken. People who devote their lives to others still experience illness and loss. A mitzvah is not like a vending machine. We don't just put kindness in and expect God to dispense blessings out. It's not how it works. So maybe, if we think about it like it's something bigger than us, it's an easier way to conceive of it. Maybe blessing isn't just about what happens to us as individuals, but about what happens to us as a larger group. Because our choices don't stop with us as individuals. And that brings us back to Re'eh, see. I think, though, that we can expand our understanding of that word. Because we don't only see with our eyes. We can hear the catch in someone's voice when they tell us that they're okay, but we really know that they're not okay because of how they said it. We can feel someone's hand trembling in ours and understand that something's wrong. When we notice a person standing by themselves quietly in a room full of people that are gathered in small groups and chatting together. And most of us know how it feels to be on the other side of that noticing as well. To walk into a room and wonder if anyone will be glad to see us. To be hurting on the inside and hoping that someone notices so we don't have to tell them. Even today, even this evening, there's probably somebody in this room, at least one person in this room, carrying a loss or a worry, something that might be happening with a parent or a child, something that someone's simply trying to get through. And sometimes the holiest thing that we can do as their neighbor, as their friend, is not to try and fix it, but to notice. Just to notice. Not offer advice, just be there. Because once we really see something, once we really notice, it's hard to unsee it. We're there with that person now. And that brings us to the harder word in this Torah portion, the curse. This isn't like some fairy tale with a witch or a crone or some old sorcerer trying to give people a hard time. No, it's collective consequences. The Torah is talking about something bigger, something more in this world. One cruel person can change a family. One bully can change the dynamic of a classroom. When hatred becomes acceptable in a society, innocent people pay the price. But Re'eh teaches us the reverse is true as well. Goodness has collective consequences as well. One compassionate person can change a family. One person who welcomes a newcomer can change a congregation. One person who refuses to participate in gossip can change the conversation. One mitzvah can remind someone that I matter. Someone sees me. I am not alone. Our choices are never ours alone. That is why mitzvot matter. Not because every mitzvah earns us an immediate reward, but because every mitzvah makes our world that kind of place where people do mitzvot. And life is a little more worthy of blessing because there are more blessings in it. And here's something else that I find moving. We didn't start this work. We inherited this process of doing blessing, of receiving blessing. Abraham and Sarah made that covenant. Isaac and Rebekah continued it. Jacob, Leah, and Rachel after them, and all those generations in between. Think about some of the people that made your Jewish life possible. Someone taught you the Shema. Someone lit Shabbat candles. Someone brought you to synagogue when you were too young to drive. And there are Jews whose names we will never know, whose mitzvot helped create the Jewish world that we inherited. We are living inside today of the mitzvot that other people built before us. And someday, God willing, people we will never meet will be living inside the mitzvot that we are building today, mitzvot that carry into the future. Pirkei Avot teaches us, Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin lihibatel mimena. It is not our responsibility to finish the work, but neither are we free to walk away from it. We cannot do everything, but we can all do something. So this week, let us think of and do 3 things. First, notice one person, someone we haven't seen lately, someone who's there but sitting alone, someone whose I'm fine doesn't actually sound fine. Ask how they are and wait for an answer. Second, do one mitzvah that nobody will know about. Give tzedakah anonymously. Help someone quietly. Forgive something you've been holding on to. Put a little goodness into the world without needing recognition for it. And third, create one blessing that'll outlive us. Teach something Jewish to a child or grandchild. Tell a family story. Pass on a tradition. Do just one thing that says, Judaism will not stop with me. Notice, do, and pass it on. That rabbi that told his students that darkness ends when you can see the face of the person in front of you and recognize them as a sibling is telling us, in effect, a message that lines up with our Torah portion, Re'eh. We should see the person standing in front of us, see the generations that came before us, and that these generations will come after us. We inherited a world shaped by people who saw us coming, even though they didn't know our names. And now it is our turn. May we choose mitzvot. May we choose compassion. And may the generations that we will never meet, who come after us, inherit a Judaism that is vibrant, a community that is compassionate, and a world a little more holy because we saw them coming. Shabbat Shalom. And now, speaking of generations of our people, I invite us to turn our thoughts across the world to our friends and family and loved ones in Israel, and to turn to page 678, 678, and to rise in body or spirit for Hatikva. Kol od balevav pnima, nefesh Yehudi homia, ulfate mizrach kadima, ayin letzion tzofia. Od lo avda tikvatenu, hatikva bat shnot alpayim, liotam chofshi be'artzenu, Eretz Tzion v'Yerushalayim. Liotam chofshi be'artzenu, Eretz Tzion v'Yerushalayim. I invite you to remain standing in body or spirit as we turn to page 586, 586 for the Aleinu. We're going to be on 586 at the bottom, to then 588 at the top, and then 591. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kugayei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kimishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, עמד מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and the elderly who wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your sibling walking in the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you with something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let them live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. The congregation is remembering those that we have had to give away, those we have lost within the last year: Carol Friedman, Martin Horowitz, Grace Belkin, Howard Silvers, Jeanette Greenwald, Lee Schwartz, Ronald Harris Lieberman, Maxine Safer Goldberg, Carol Wallace, Helene Levy Gold, Stephen Blumberg, Estelle Sylvia Beckerman, Sean Curley, Natalie Rosenberg, Doris Trujillo Rojas, and Carol Kalnitsky. And we're remembering those that we lost at this time in years past: John Lumar, Sally Ann Pendergraft, Carol Reeder, Albert Leon Rubin, David Safer, Cyril Toker, and Morris Jurgen. If there's anyone that has a name of someone that you would like to share that you have lost, I invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. We turn to page 598, 598, and holding their memories in our hearts, I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam U'Lalmei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar V'yit'aleh V'yithalal Shmei D'Kudusha B'richu, Le'ela Min Ko Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Damiran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Osei Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. May the one who makes peace on high bring comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. Let's turn to page 626, 626 for Ein Keloheinu for our closing song, and then we'll turn back to page 603 for the priestly benediction. So I invite you to remain standing in body or spirit. En Keloheinu, en Kadonenu, en El Malkeinu, en Kemoshienu, mi Keloheinu, mi Chadonenu, mi Chemalkeinu, mi Chemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Page 603 for the priestly benediction. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom, shalom, shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. Shabbat shalom, everyone.